We come now to some very special awards here at the London International Horse Show. It is the presentation for the British Equestrian Medal of Honour. It is awarded to those recognised as having completed acts of international endeavour in relation to equestrian sport for their outstanding services to the Federation or its members' bodies. Delighted to welcome today to make the presentations British Equestrian's Chair, Malcolm Wharton CBE, and Chief Executive, Jim Eyre. It gives me great delight. We have 4 recipients this year. And congratulations to the first of those. Delighted to see this awarded to Liz Brown. Congratulations, Liz. The eventing team vet and the world-class programme since 2008. She's supported teams and individuals who've won multiple medals from 4 to 5-star events around the world. The team gold, individual golds, the individual golds at the 22 World Championships, and that team gold and individual silver in Tokyo as well. Highly respected within equestrian sport. Thank you and congratulations to Liz Brown. The second of our recipients this year is to a groom for the past 25 years. Very well done to Liz Gerald. Congratulations. Has worked at countless championships for dressage, para-dressage throughout her career, including the likes of Beijing and Rio and Tokyo Games and World Games, and has supported British Equestrian Para-Dressage Championship squad since 2017. Her hard work, her positive attitude, friendly disposition has earned her respect from athletes and officials all over the world. Congratulations again to Liz Gerald. To the third of our recipients, a lady that has been an integral part of world class for over 20 years. Congratulations to Caroline Griffith. She started out as the discipline coordinator for dressage in the newly formed world-class Starter Potential programme back in 2002. In 2017, she became the dressage performance manager for World Classes programme and championship teams. And under her guidance, British squads have taken 13 team and individual championship medals, including team gold this year and that double world championship with Lottie Fry last year. Congratulations to Caroline Griffith. And the final presentation goes to Rebecca Hewitt, nominated for the Medal of Honour in 2022 and receiving it here today, a fellow of the British Equestrian Vaulting, and has been involved in the sport of vaulting for over 30 years as an athlete, coach, and lunger as well at international level. She helped to set up the coaching levels within vaulting and a senior examiner and coaches RDA vaulters, a key figure in helping develop the sport of vaulting for all. Congratulations to our final recipient, to Rebecca Hewitt. A massive congratulations, and of course not only congratulations but thanks to these fabulous individuals that have brought so much to equestrian sport, to British team success, both recently in the past and I'm sure with a legacy going forward into the future as well. A massive afternoon of sport here at the London International Horse Show. Of course, it is the big class, the big jumping class, the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. It's day 1 for the international jumping riders. There's a long road of big named classes ahead of them, with the likes of that Longines FEI World Cup round here on Sunday afternoon, and much, much more besides.
dropping in the snow. Kids are crying, dogs are barking, catching up with folks we barely know. Sure, it's madness, but it's magic. As soon as you hang up the mistletoe, 'cause you're the reason for the season. We don't need to keep up with the Jones. Our love is something priceless. I don't need diamonds, no sparkling things, 'cause you can't buy this feeling. Nothing lights my fire or runs me up, baby, like you do. Just want a cozy little Christmas here with you. So Mr. Santa, take the day off, get a massage, 'cause we got this one all under control. A little whiskey, we're getting frisky, and so dancing tonight we roll. No, we ain't stressing, just caressing, warming up our popsicle toes. Nothing's missing, 'cause you're a blessing. Yeah, you're the only one I'm wishing for. Our love is something priceless. I need diamonds, no sparkling things, 'cause you can't buy this feeling. Nothing lights my fire or runs me up, baby, like you do. Just want a cozy little Christmas here with you. I don't need anything. Take back all the Cartier and the Tiffany's and the Chanel. Well, can I keep that Chanel, please? No, 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 no. I don't need diamonds, no sparkling things, 'cause you can't buy this feeling. Nothing lights my fire or runs me up, baby, like you do. Just want a cozy little Christmas here with you.
Hello, welcome down to the arena with Jessica Carter, who's just been told to concentrate. Once a rider, always a rider.
Absolutely. Obviously, I wasn't looking at what I should be doing.
The riders are certainly looking at what they should be doing. They've been out here walking the course. You've been out here walking the course as well. What should we be looking out for in this Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes?
Well, I think today is probably for the course builder actually not so simple, because he's seen the start list of all the riders and horses here. Obviously, yesterday evening they entered the horses for particular classes. We've seen already that first class was of a lower level, 5 centimetres lower than this one. And now you're seeing some of the horses coming in. They'll be doing the World Cup on Sunday, some doing the Grand Prix on Monday, and of course some with young horses. And we were testing them maybe for the first time at this level. So I think the course builder, it's been an interesting build for him today to try to make enough, but also not too much.
Yeah, I did say to him that so far all the riders seem happy, but we did also say it's only Friday. Just let's take a look at the course and tell us, is it technical, this one?
I think the course is very fair on the technicality side. You get a nice set off 1 to 2, and then you can see you come down 3 here, the Agria. It's 7 strides bending line. That's the first little bit of delicacy. The riders really have to have their balance nice on the horses. They come the triple combination through the middle, and then we maybe go over here. You can see they come out of the corner away from the entrance, and this is always a little bit of a difficult jump with the water mat underneath. You can see they've spared us from the water today. It's blue, but it's not shiny blue full of water, so that's already a little bit of a help. But underneath the oxo like this, the riders have to make sure that they come with a nice rhythm, enough distance that the horse, if he looks into the water, stays away from the front bar but still stretch over the back. And once they're over this, we're on a related distance into this golden colour combination. This one colour, especially this gold, is not that simple for the concentration of the horses, especially as you see those wavy flanks. So yeah, exactly. So I'll do what distance up. So 2 to land, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Difficult to kind of talk at the same time. So you can see this is what we call a nice 5 strides, because they're coming a little bit out of the turn, and then it's 5 strides up this combination, but depending on your horse's length and gap, the rider has to really feel close to get to this vertical. They need to find for their horse the perfect point of takeoff, and then it's 1 stride and an oxer coming out, and again you can see this oxer is what we call very parallel. When you stand in front of it, the front bar and the back bar are exactly the same height. So this is the maximum parallel that we would see this weekend. So this is already a test for the horses and riders.
Yeah, it's a bit of an optical illusion, because when you come up to it, because it's the second part of the spread is the same height, you can't quite see that there. I mean, obviously the rider's in an elevated position. And actually what we saw in the speed stakes earlier on, I spoke to Joe Stockdale afterwards. The first part of the double, and then got into a real tangle, and then wasn't able to get over the second part. He said to me as well, he's got 2 horses here. When I asked him what classes he would be doing this weekend, he said, well, he's just going to get through today, get a feel to see how the horses are settling into the arena, and then work out what he's going to do if it's going to be World Cup Grand Prix. Will many of the riders be doing that, particularly in this class? Will these be some of the World Cup horses?
Yes, most definitely. We will see some of the World Cup horses jumping today. They'll jump this competition, and if the rider has what they say a good feeling, just meaning that my horse feels confident, he's concentrated, then they'll probably say, okay, tomorrow we can have a day off, and then we'll concentrate on Sunday. And there'll be some other riders that may be testing their horse the first time in a big class like this, and they say, oh, maybe not the World Cup yet. Maybe we'll do the Grand Prix on Sunday, have another small class between. So there is a lot of planning going on in a competition like this, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we really have some good pairs in here, and I'm expecting a really hot class today.
Yeah, hot class, 34 pairs. Is there any other jumps that you want to quickly have a look at to show everyone who's here today?
Well, let's just have a quick look at what I call the nasty black plank. I'll just walk this distance quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's 6 strides. And after this combination, this 6 strides, in those 6 strides, which is a very short time, the rider has to regain balance of the horse and get the concentration really on this nasty little black plank. You know, and we saw it yesterday in the under-25s. It really did fall a few times. I mean, obviously these horses and riders are pretty experienced. They've seen nasty black, nasty white plank every now and then, but it is always a little bit difficult.
Okay, we're going to walk this way to safety, because the first horse will be in very shortly. It is a wonderful class. You can feel the atmosphere building, because we know how good the horses and riders are who will be coming in here. Usual suspects we should be looking out for, but from a British perspective, who do you think's got the measure in this?
Well, I do think that you will always have to look out for Ben Maher. He's in fantastic form with a super string of horses. Harry Charles, of course, favourite with many here. And the winner of the last class, Matt Sampson.
Jess, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Let's head up to our commentator, Gareth.
Well, thank you, Lee, and thank you, Jess. Big money, big fences. It is a big afternoon of sport with the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. €37,000 in the prize fund. It is a job.
We're looking for those who'll find their way into that second round against the clock. And it is a fabulous afternoon, a real challenge, a fascinating challenge down there for these horses and these riders. But some of the big names, some of the best names have made their way to London once again. And we're going to enjoy every single stride.
Good afternoon and welcome to the London International Horse Show, which shortly to start.
All important in the modern sport.
The Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes, 34 competitors coming forward representing 15 nations, 10 for great. And the first of those in the class is Lydia, 21 years old, and Lydia is riding her bronze medalist, and rider bronze medalist for Europeans last year for Lyon and the Glibo. Zanga's Brave. Have an opportunity to have a look at the course that Jess Curtin has just been taking us through. Longines upright. Second fence. Maximum height 1.50 m. 2-round competition, cleared through 2A shortened jump off course. Orleans and Lily Atwood, winners in the 2-star Cher and Villamora at the end of October. Competed a couple of the Longines World Cup legs last year together. Of course, this weekend, all about the Longines FEI jumping World Cup qualifier coming in on Sunday. That's that plank that Jessica was saying was awkward down to the plank, which is still beautifully clear. 75 seconds the time allowed. Hanging about. There have been some quite tight times in the arena early this week, but that wasn't quite cool. A brilliantly negotiated, up and coming, great young rider for great
competition. Give her a round of applause, London. First clear, Lily Atwood. Jessica Curtin up here in the commentary box. Now, how impressive is that first out to go clear?
Well, gee, I have to say, it's always impressive when the first start to go clears. For me, it was not such a surprise, because I've been watching Lily on the circuit, and she's just been going fantastic all year.
So we have our first clear,
I mean,
3 seconds inside the time, so although Lily did not hang around.
Superstar and now a superstar. Great Britain's Olympic champion, and he is currently world number 2. Back home where he loves to be in front of his home crowd. Here with his and Jane Ford Clark's Ginger Blue, it's Ben Mayer.
Put down that line, another 1, 2 seconds by the time we have a jump off. 2 of the 34 have gone. We've got 2 of the
good.
The great
2 out of 2.
Done there,
Give
the
her a
World
round
Cup
of
of
applause.
22, the Olympic champion goes clear on Ginger Blue. That will be popular with the crowd in London.
Ginger Blue, a horse he has been producing over the last few years, and it really
This horse is really coming to good. He's now jumping at 150.
Ben's string of horses, it's a string of horses really been bringing up, and he's been taking his time. Even though he had the shoulder break early of the season, he had to really work hard on himself to come back. But now, with all of these horses, he's being placed and winning big competitions. It really is fantastic to see how these young ones are coming up.
Certainly is. And talking of producing horses, this man has produced this horse. In fact, it was by one of his father's great rides, Argento. This horse is called Vermento, and these two, Jess, won the King George.
Yes, and in style. And I have to say, you know, for everybody who's still coming into the arena at the moment, you know, this is a treat. The first 3 riders in, 3 British riders, we have 2 clears already, and this combination, like you say, what a performance that was in Hickstead.
Absolutely. Let's welcome Robert Whittaker.
Well, we stayed with Great Britain. We got 2 clears into the jump off. Now there's somebody who's been doing well on the World Cup, Longines World Cup circuit. Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker riding the 13-year-old Chaco Blue gelding Chetondo. Correction, the change in the start list. Robert Whittaker actually riding Vimento. Do apologise, the 10-year-old stallion by Argento. Jumped a great clear in the first of the 2 rounds of the World Cup in Stuttgart just a few weeks ago, picking up 10 points for the Western European League. Starting on his way to his 2nd World Cup final. Got 4 faults. He won't be in the jump off today, but almost certainly we'll be seeing this combination in 48 hours' time in the Longines World Cup. 4 faults for Robert Whittaker and Vimento for Great Britain.
Yes, I do believe that they have to watch the time because the first 2, they were very cautious.
Outside that 75 seconds time allowed. So the first 2 were,
but of course, Robert,
just hearing
Jessica
Kurt saying it's well inside the time, but
to just slow down. He knows he's not going to be
Robert
part of the shake-up today.
was able to take a pull, having had the fence down.
Settled in because we are probably going to see him on Sunday afternoon.
Whittaker's a famous family name here in Great Britain, but Philipparts is a famous family name in Belgium.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's as many Philipparts as there is Whittakers.
Well, there's one with us next. His dad won the World Cup here before, and it's great to see this man, one of the best from Belgium, in the arena. He's got a young horse, an 8-year-old, with a Parique, JW van Brahova, Belgium, and Olivier Philipparts.
Now we go to Belgium. Regular visitor to the London International Horse Show as Olivier Philipparts looks up to the central screen in the arena to see if his 45-second countdown has started. Olivier Philipparts, well, number 67, Ryan, the 8-year-old gelding by Vigo de Suey, by Popper Maker, JW van der Moohover. Being 8 will be quite new to this level, but was 4th in a 5-star 150 Grand Prix last week. There's a great build-up to the London International Horse Show. Just giving all these 150 fences a lot of height. What a lovely young horse this is. What a super round. 73 seconds. Olivier Philipparts looks up the clock. He knows he's safe on the time, and he's certainly safe over the from wonderful 8-year-old Papa Maker JW van der Moohover for Belgium.
Yeah, well, I think certainly that Olivier is going to be delighted with that. I spoke to him outside before, and he said, you know, I'm here with a couple of young horses, and not really knowing what to expect. You could see on the way to number 2, he was just trying to gather the concentration of Peppa Micah, and he did it very, very well. And an 8-year-old at the end of the season like this, jumping at 150, I think he's going to be absolutely delighted to be in the jump on.
Well, some delighted people out there in the stands, and now one for Brazil, fresh back from a medal at the Pan Am Games. He's a former individual gold medalist from those Pan Am Championships. Tremendous to see him in London, here with Cornes. Would you welcome Brazil's Marlon Zanatelli?
Now the turn of world number 29, Marlon Madolo Zanatelli, riding Cornest. 10-year-old gelding by Bally du Reventon. Recent winner, not at this level, at 1m50, but at 1m40 in Grimond. And earlier in July, won a massive 155 class in Balkansward. Strides down to the double, still clear. And down to the last, just watching the clock, he's just inside the time by 10th of a second. Very well timed, beautifully jumped, another nice young.
Brilliant from Marlon Zanatelli and Cornes. He made it look so easy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the reason why this show is one of the best in the world, because you get such a treat to see these riders coming.
And even when they're producing their younger horses, they're still in a league of their own. And Marlon with lovely Cornes and Wilma Hellstrom, Wilma herself, the owner of the horse, she's gold winner from this summer with the Swedish team.
Well, talking of gold medal winner, looking just to the arena.
He's just a big gold medal on a horse.
Absolutely, gold at Olympics, gold at Worlds and European Championships. He's won it all in his career, and he's back in London. He never misses. Here with the Priam de Rosset for Germany, Marcus Henning.
Marcus Henning won this competition back in 2019 with Comme il Faut. He now rides another great partner over the last few years for Germany. Marcus Henning riding the 12-year-old Plot Bleu gelding Priam de Rosset. Second Plot Bleu horse that we have had in this competition. Plot Bleu, one of the two horses that Marcus Henning took to one of the World Cup finals, one of his 3 victories in Longines FEI World Cup finals. Marcus Henning, who's a regular visitor to the London International Horse Show, beautifully down the combination, still clear for Germany. And that's gone, we didn't see it, but we could hear the crowds. Foot off the gas. He's got plenty of time, but he's on full fault, so won't get into the second round. But it was a lovely round. He does pick up a time penalty. Well, I expect we'll be seeing them on Sunday as well in the big one. It's Marcus Henning, full fault for Germany with Priam de Rosset.
To get him back in time for the perfect takeoff position, but really, you know, Marcus, even on the most difficult
stylish.
He's one of
Marcus
the
Henning,
best.
3-time winner of a World Cup final, former world #1, multi-medals, but not in the jump-off this afternoon.
World #6, he's won Grand Prix this year in the likes of France, Champagne and Monte Carlo. Here with Hoover for France, Julien Epillard.
Now, one of the quickest men in the world. If he gets into the jump-off, he's a multi-feared person. It's Julien Epillard for France, world #6, with the 11-year-old gelding Hoover. winners recently over a very similar competition in Verona, 1 meter 50, and several wins this year, just in the last 2 or 3 months, 4 or 5 wins, but just a notch below this, 145. Doesn't waste any time coming around the corner. He wastes no time going anywhere. Skips down the combination. Very agile. Just got too close to the second part of the double. Hoover doesn't look a very big horse. I don't know Hoover that well.
Oh, what a shame. He finishes on the 4. We won't see that prestigious pace as Julien Epinard in the jump off as he has 4 on Hoover. He is such a quick rider. He has that sort of body position that is sort of up and forward. It's a natural way for him.
Yes, Julien has always been such a fast rider, and like you say, in the first round, he's always going with the horses, everything, even his control. He takes the control out of the forwards movement. Unfortunately, getting caught out on that very square oxer coming out of the combination. So we'll miss him in the jump off today.
Absolutely we will, but we're going to stay in the world's top 30. And another big name, this time from Germany, that's won some of the world's big titles in his career. In fact, he's won the World Cup final as well as picking up championship medals throughout his career. For Germany, the next to go with the 9-year-old Otello de Grootsbroom, Daniel Deusser.
Daniel still riding today. Competed Vega Z recently in the World Cup at Verona. Jumping at this level, 9-year-old, for a few months. Well, that stayed there. Got away with it. Well, the horse is jumping absolutely brilliantly off this ground.
Look at the clock. What a shame. We talk of time in this sport, and it has caught Daniel Deusser 75-78. It is a small margin, but it is one penalty, and that is enough, Jess.
Absolutely, it's enough. But when we look at the bigger picture, Daniel, with this lovely son from his amazing Tobago.
So just over the 75 seconds time allowed. Keeps Daniel Deusser out of the jump off. But it's a long weekend of jumping. He won't be too disappointed. Got plenty of fuel in the tank with this young 9-year-old. So one-time penalty, clear jumping for Daniel Deusser and Otello de Grootsbroom for Germany.
Look forward to it at the moment for a clear in this, the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. And a combination that were in the jump off of the World Cup round in A Coruña just recently. Here for Spain with Shakira Z, Santiago Nunes Viva.
Well, what a run this man has had for Spain in the World Cup Series. It's Santiago Nunes Riva with Shakira Z, Zangazada bred 11-year-old mare. Crown Z. Quidem de Revel mare. Competed last weekend in the World Cup in La Coruña. Well, they jumped a brilliant clear to get into the second round. Finished 10th. uncharacteristic round from Shakira Z here. I think, just to say, jumps are super clear last weekend in La Coruna. Well, coming in to the last line, picked over the 75 seconds, but rather irrelevant with a couple of fences down. So not the round that we're normally used to seeing. So completed on 22 faults for Santiago Nuno Riva for Spain with Shakira Z.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Santiago with this lovely mare Shakira on home soil in La Coruña, Spain. They were placed in the World Cup double clear. Absolutely brilliant. And you could just see today the sparkle was not there. Started off a little bit slow and didn't really get into their rhythm. But, you know, Santiago, he also has to get into it. Back in England, spent a year at boarding school here, so his memories have to come back. I guarantee before the weekend's over, he'll be great.
Happy memories, I do not doubt. And happy memories, this next young man has already created 14 GB. Part of that bronze at the World Championships last year that qualified Great Britain.
We've had 2 clears for Great Britain, and now another one of the 10 British riders in the Ivy Stakes, the London International Horse Show this afternoon. It's Joseph Stockdale, part of the bronze medal winning team from the World Championships in hurling last year. And Joseph riding E-Banking, 9-year-old Echelon stallion. Still clear over the black plank. Will this be a third clear for Great Britain? Oh, it's just a rub on that strike pole. Winners at Birmingham just a few weeks ago. A much bigger class than this, but not this afternoon for them. Inside the time, but got that one fence down. So 4 faults for Joseph Stockdale for Great Britain and the 9-year-old E-Banking.
Watch this horse how it was pushing off and really making a shape, as we say, over the jumps. And perhaps at the end of the course, jumping a clear round, Joe just felt on the 9th stride that he just had to help slightly. And E-Banking just didn't come up through his shoulders quick enough on that oxer. Shame that he's going to be out of the jump off today.
From one British rider to another, this next young man's not been having a bad run.
No, that's said very mildly. In the form of his life, doing absolutely brilliant, and this combination just had a wonderful win in La Coruña the first night, the 150. So judging that form, they've got to be one of the favourites today.
He won the World Cup here in the past. He won the World Cup in Coruña. He's here with Billabong de Romay, Harry Charles.
Well, a man that's going to be having a lot of cheers this week. It's Harry Charles, world number 13. He's won this competition twice. He's been victorious in 2 World Cup qualifiers already this season. It's Harry Charles for Great Britain with Billabong du Manoir, the winners of this competition last year. A super clear from Harry Charles, Great Britain, green in the jump off. What a day it is so far in the Champagne Ivy Stakes. Harry Charles.
Not touching a pole and just looking there as well, not actually wearing any front boots. That's sometimes a little unusual.
Yeah, I think it'll become more and more usual. We're seeing more and more horses going barefoot these days. And of course, Billabong, former ride from Julian FEI, he knows the barefoot, so Harry left the boots on and certainly didn't stop the jumping clear today.
No, and they can be quick against the clock, and great to see this man here at Excel at the London International Horse Show. He has won team gold at the Olympics and the World Championships for Sweden. He's a double individual silver. Peter Fredriksson and Groom.
And we're now watching Peter Fredriksson for Sweden, riding SV Vroom de la Pomme Z, another one of these lovely 9-year-olds. So many of them scattered throughout this class. Another one by Viggo de Suy, former world champion.
He has produced so much magic in the show jumping arena in his career. He's had magical horses, but that's quite a new partnership for Peter.
Yeah, Broom and Peter have not been together for so long, but you can really see through the season how they've been improving, how the horse gets stronger, understands what Peter wants from him, and that was absolutely footwork.
But perfect so far from 6 combinations through to the jump off for the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes here on the Friday afternoon. There's another big name for Brazil, another championship rider. Next up with Quack 76, it's Pedro Marlan, Brazil.
Now we go back to Brazil. It's Pedro Unquere Milet with the 12-year-old stallion, Quacks 76. Old stallion, 5th. Super jump over the last, and that was a very naturally quick round in 71.75. So another one of the dangers going into the jump off for Brazil. Pedro Unquere Milet with Quacks 76.
And they are pinging off this Andrews Bowen surface down there. That arena is really giving them a lot of spring.
Absolutely, this combination of the ground, it's really a ground that's a bit like a trampoline for the horses, and you can see many of them feeling very comfortable and really, as you say, springing off the ground. And
the Ivy Stakes
from these two, Pedro really using Quacks' strides.
13 of the 34 have gone.
Making it look really easy.
7.
Yeah, Andrews Bowen surface giving them the lift, and now will they lift this partnership? Rides for Switzerland, based in Germany, and this the Turner Diva and Swiss rider Adrian Schmidt.
Now we go to Switzerland. Adrian Schmidt, riding Diva van de Schuslehoff. 13-year-old mare. 50% clear so far in this 2-round competition. 1m50. Jumped brilliantly in the Stuttgart leg of the Longines World Cup, recently picking up points for the Western European League, bidding to get to his World Cup final. That was a big rub, but it's still there. And down to the Oxford to finish. A big stretch, and he was standing quite a long way off it, and so that didn't quite make the distance across that final fence. So 4 faults for Adrian Schmidt and Diva van de Schuslehoff.
Diva van Schuslehoff, owned and bred by Werner Rutemann, a very good bloodline from show jumping horses. And I think Adrian, you can just see him shaking his head there. He took a stride out down to the 3rd last jump, and then it did look as if he wanted to take one last 6 strides to 12, changed his mind, and then, yeah, just a little bit out of balance. It's a shame.
What about this man? He's got a fabulous record here at the London International Horse Show. He's won the big one and plenty more besides. Multiple championship medals.
Now we go to Switzerland. The world number 5. It's Martin Fuchs.
The world number 5 for Switzerland.
Winner of the World Cup Championship last year. Won the World Cup here in London back in 2019 and picked up many medals since then, and several on this lovely horse, Connor J. Martin Fuchs for Switzerland, Connor J. Bronze medalist at the Nations Cup final. Jumped brilliantly in Geneva last week. That was over 1m60. Martin, who's got a fabulous string of horses, all built up since the retirement of the great Clooney. Well, that was one fence down, a couple of time penalties for the world number 5.
He picks up 6 time penalties. Never looked, though, like touching the fence. It was like a boost button every time he got
Just
there.
correction, 6 time penalties for Martin Fuchs with Connor J. No fence down, but it was 6 time penalties. Confusing. But a great round, 6 time, but I'm sure we'll be seeing this combination on Sunday for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup.
So just looking like he wanted to give him a nice
And I
ride
think that was
today,
probably
and I
a very,
expect
very
to see
nice
this pair on Sunday.
introductory round
This pair last year
to the arena before the big one on Sunday.
World Cup right here in London. She was the leading rider over the show as well. Back for Great Britain with Hardessa. Jodie
And now the
Hall
leading
McAteer.
rider at the London International Horse Show 12 months ago, Jodie Hall McAteer. She was on, had several great rounds on her fabulous partner, Salt and Pepper, on that occasion. She's now riding the 11-year-old mare by Berlin, Hardessa. Jodie Hall McAteer. Great Britain already with 3 clears. Super down the combination, jumping really well that line. In and out of the double, a rub, the oxer, still there, still clear. 1m50 the plank. Another fabulous round from the 23-year-old. That is a super clear for Jodie Hall-McAteer. Great Britain into the jump off with four athletes.
And London loving Jodie and Hardessa. What a fantastic round from this young, brilliant talent. One of the best young girls we have in the sport at the moment. And very lucky that she's back home in London.
We're halfway through the Taittinger Champagne Ivy Stakes. Clears from Lily Atwood, Ben Mayer, Olivia Philipparts for Belgium, Marla Modolo Zanatelli for Brazil, Harry Charles for Great Britain, Peder Fredriksson, former European champion for Sweden, Pedro Unquera Mallet for Brazil, and now Jodie Hall-McAteer, clear number 4 for Great Britain into the second round at the halfway stage of the Ivy Stakes here at the London International Horse Show. Now the leading rider in the Longines rankings from Denmark, Andreas Schue, 75th in the world rankings, riding the 9-year-old stallion, Billy Matador. Just a comparatively new partnership, earlier in the spring this year. Over the 150 middle part of the combination.
And Billy Matador.
So the young Billy Matador, a great horse for the future.
Yes, I think a reset is a good word. Andreas and Billy Matador, you can see there his martingale broke, and he just got a little bit out of control on the way to the combination number 7.
Martingale, you can just see flapping there in the wings. Looks like the metal connector may have just broken.
We'll do a little bit of dressage up at the top, make a nice circle, and then just bring him home quietly.
Good news, if you do have broken tack, there's a lot of shops just next door.
Absolutely, I can highly recommend.
Well, next up is a top talent from Ireland, of course, very much based here in the UK at Breed Equestrian at Hickstead. He's won some massive Grand Prix in his career, from Dublin to Monte Carlo.
Now one of the two riders representing Ireland, based at Hickstead.
Shane Breed.
A winner here in this class back in 2018 with Golden Horde. It's Shane Breed, world number 74, with the 9-year-old gelding, Cato Boy. Winner at Birmingham recently. Shane, who's been competing 3 of the World Cup legs for this season's Western European League, the Longines World Cup qualifiers. Come to double clear in Oslo, that's with Quick Start Kerbeck. coming in on 4, pick up a couple of time penalties. Just before jumping, an additional 4 times, so 8 faults in total for, well, number 74, Shane Breed, Cato Boy for Ireland.
Yeah, you can just see Shane taking it very easy after the mistake and just getting this horse settled in, ready for other classes this weekend.
How do we rate this next man?
I would say pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good, like top 10 winner last week.
Maybe.
Like European champion.
Now the European champion, the former world number 1, the 3-time winner of Longines FEI
from this year, the world number 4. Would you welcome
World Cup final, the former Olympic champion. What a treat for the crowds in London. It's Steve Gerdat for Switzerland with the 10-year-old mare. It's Minka. Here's Minka, who's had a break since the Helsinki show in October. He jumped in the World Cup there that weekend. Possibly the plan for Steve on Sunday to ride this Minka. Hop and a skip through. So athletic, this 10-year-old. Plenty of time on the clock. Will this be clear, number 9? He's up and over the Oxer. Couple of 2.5 or 2.5 inside the time. That is clear for Steve Gerdat, clear for Switzerland, and clear number 9 in the Ivy Stakes at the London International Horse Show.
And clear, Steve Gerdat. How much does confidence count in this sport?
I think confidence is one of the most important things for a rider and a horse. You know, the horse and the rider, they have to find their way together, understand each other, and then when they've done that and come into the competition, it's so much easier. And of course, Steve, with the success that he's been having the last while, you know, he's just really on top of a wave.
Well, we're up to 9 clears, and that wave gets taller and taller as we cruise towards the jump-off. This man has already cruised into the top 3 in our opening class. Now with Dourados for Portugal, Dorat Zebra.
Already on the podium here at the London International Horse Show, it's for Portugal, Duet to Zebra. With the Zebra riding the 10-year-old Diarra Gelding, Dourados 2. Jumped together in La Coruna last weekend. His former event rider. Competed for Portugal at the recent European Championships. That was obviously in jumping. Clicks
Just
over on the time,
well,
and a
over
couple down
9
jumping,
for
so
this Zebra
9
there for
faults in
Portugal,
all
Dourados. You know, he started off
for
in the world of
Duet to
West
Zebra.
Championships, Europeans and Worlds as an eventer, but he's an all-round talent.
Yeah, and you can just see, like Peter Fredriksson, who also started the eventing, Duarte has a lovely rhythm with his horse, great style, and you know his success speaks for itself. He's be heading as an individual to the Olympics, most likely sitting at second place on the individual qualifying list at this moment. So we do expect to see him in Paris next year.
But of course, this next man to go was part of that famous gold on the team in London 2012, and he has been such a big part of British success ever since. Winner of the World Cup here in London last year, riding now
Great
with
Britain.
Hello Valentino, Great Britain.
I've already got 4 through to the jump off for the Ivy Stakes, and now here is the world number 32. Former world number 1, Scott Brash, one of the heroes of the sport in London, here riding Hello Valentino. Won the World Cup here 12 months ago with Hello Jefferson. And Valentino very, very consistent at this level. 42% of clear rounds at 1m50 and above. 6th in a 155 Grand Prix in Geneva in the last few days. Scott just taking his time after a fence down. He knows he can't get into the sharp end of the competition, but there's a lot of jumping to go over the next 2 days after today. Well, beautiful down the last line. We've seen them have superb rounds, different to the one we've just witnessed, but there'll be another day. Scott Brash and Hello Valentino
Yeah, Scott and Valentino's had
complete
some
on
great
29
success,
penalties.
ninth in the World Cup leg in Stuttgart a few weeks ago, and you could just see that Scott there, things weren't just perfect coming around the corner, so he just decided to have another go, just looking a little bit for perfection, looking towards Sunday.
Well, on we go, and a chance for France with this young talent, 22 years of age, already competing in the big leagues and in some big classes. She's had some great results, including 4th in the recent World Cup down in Madrid. Riding unforgettable Danville for France, Jean Sadrin.
Now to France. Jean Sadrin with the 15-year-old stallion, unforgettable Danville. Jumping in Nations Cup teams for France in Rabat recently, finishing 3rd. Having a good run in the World Cup qualifiers. Double clear with Dexter de Kerglen 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I should say. Well, I guess the first time that we've seen that plank go. Just didn't get the line she wanted off that corner. Time is putting a little bit of pressure on the riders. Danville wouldn't be naturally a quick horse round here, but she will be close to time, but she has got one fence down. 0.4 of a second, 0.4 of a second inside the time, but the one fence down, so 4 faults for Jean Sadrin, the 22-year-old who's been doing so well for France with unforgettable Danville.
Very, like I say, with the dark background, it's difficult to see. Interesting, Jan with their trainer, Julian Epiard, where they walked the course, Julian was really explaining her to keep him straight there, which Jan really did try to do. But Danville with his big stride, yeah, just got caught out.
Well, next up, it's Ireland. He's already had a second place here this year. Last year here in London, he was in fabulous form and in the top three on 3 different occasions. He won the World Cup round in Las Vegas just recently with Champagne EBZ for Ireland, Conor Swale.
Now for Ireland. Conor Swale, 15th in the world rankings. And here, riding Champagne EBZ, second last year in this competition to Harry Charles. On that occasion, he was riding Count Me In. Champagne on the winning Nations Cup team recently in Calgary. 3 top 10 finishes in Washington and Lexington. Principally riding in North America, but a regular visitor to the London International Horse Show. Huge leap over the last 0.8 of a second inside the time. Ireland into the jump off with Conor Swale and Champagne EBZ. That is clear number 10. 23 of the 34 athletes have gone in this, the first of the 2 rounds for the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes.
Conor going to his hunting days back in Northern Ireland, where he's able to really, he could just feel Champagne running up the inside, making the distance short, and Conor was really able with his body to push him out, hold him and get that 6th stride done.
Well, 10 up and double figures. Who else is going to be in the jump off when we get there? It is going to be an absolute firecracker. The champagne cork is certainly going to pop here this afternoon in the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. Now to a man that has won so much around the globe. It is with Quaker, Gregory Waterley, Belgium.
Now jumping for Belgium, Gregory Waterley with the 9-year-old gelding, Quaker. Beautifully timed, beautifully jumped. That is clear number 11.
Well, no stopping the clear rounds here this afternoon. Gregory Waterley doing all he needed to, really looking to support the horse.
Yeah, Gregory, another man riding at the moment on a different star. Absolutely fantastic, winning the World Cup with James Bond in Lyon, and now with this new ride, Quaker. Really, you could see how Gregory helped Quaker around the course, give him great confidence, helping with his body. Fantastic piece of riding.
The next to go jumped in his 180th Nations Cup at Hickstead in the summer, and he jumped the winning round for Great Britain at home. It is with Equestrian America, Unique de Framport, Great Britain, John Whittaker.
Well, huge cheers go back up in the arena for John Whittaker. here, riding the 15-year-old gelding, the horse on which he was 5th last year in this competition, Equine America, unique to Frankport. And John Whittaker on that victorious Winning Nations Cup team in front of the home crowd in Hickstead back in the summer. John's 180th Nations Cup competition representing Great Britain. This could be very popular indeed. It will be the 5th clear. Well, the 4th would be the 5th clear for Great Britain. Jumping out of his skin. Unique. I was just checking the time, 4/10 of a second inside the 75 seconds time allowed. John Whittaker makes it clear number 12, but importantly, clear number 5 for Great Britain. Listen to the cheers around the XL Arena in London. Huge appreciation from generations of athletes.
John, as always, he is the best, he's still the best, and he'll be the best for many years to come.
He certainly will be, and it's great to see him flying high and home. And now to another partnership looking to join that mix against the clock. Multiple medalists for the Dutch in teams from Olympic to World to European Championships.
10 left to go in the first of the 2 rounds of the Ivy Stakes. We have got 12 clears. Now the world number 46 for the Netherlands. First of 2 riders for the Netherlands, Jo Breeling, with the 11-year-old mare, Griffin van de Heffink. Three top 10 finishes at this level and 155 in Stockholm recently. We're yet to see him at his first World Cup qualifier this year. He qualified for the final earlier on in the spring with Fluminense. Just the second time I think we've seen the plank come down. Well, took his foot off the gas, of course, with that one fence down, but I expect we'll be seeing them on the big one on Sunday for the World Cup qualifiers. Jo Breeling, Griffin van de Heffink for the Netherlands, 6 faults.
Yes, I think it was a silly mistake for Jor, but this is a horse that he's really been producing. Some of his older horses have been sold.
He's just come around to that plank off that corner.
A young team of horses, and Griffin looking very good.
Well, next to go, it is the man from Italy, Francesco. I know you wanted to salute the judges. There you are, yes. We're to your left. We're up here. There you go. Always a showman. Great to see him, and lovely respect for the members of the grand jury as well. He championship rider, and he's been on a couple of the Big Nations Cups this year.
Now we go to Italy.
Now with Quite Baloo for Italy.
Francesco Turturelli with Quite Baloo. 12-year-old gelding. Francesco Turturelli, who runs stables in Bassiano in Italy with his wife Linda Bertomi, herself competitor in World Cup qualifiers over the years. Francesco That didn't quite work. Francesco, who has been to 5 of the World Cup qualifiers already this season. Quite Baloo, who was jumped in La Coruna, didn't jump in the he jumped to the World Cup in La Coruna, but didn't actually pick up any points there.
Had to recover from that early circle. Unfortunately, Francesco Taittinger there picking up jumping in time.
Well, with the circle turn, he obviously picked up time penalty to 21 in all for Francesco Cerchiarelli and quite Baloo for Italy.
Francesco using it as a training
But I
run.
think we'll be seeing
I think we'll see
them on Sunday in the 1m60 World Cup. Today, a nice warm-up to familiarise themselves to the XL Arena.
For the Dutch. And hopefully this man will continue to smile as he finds his way through, hopefully from the opening round of this Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. He had a lovely win at a Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez with Chaco's girl for the Netherlands, Johnny Pals.
Now we go back to the Netherlands. Johnny Pals riding the 12-year-old Chaco Blue mare, Chaco's girl. First show since September was earlier on this month, where they won in Belgium. Another combination we expect to see on Sunday in the World Cup. Not into the jump off this afternoon, but again finishes on 8 faults, but a nice warm up perhaps for the big one on Sunday.
But George, our course designer, there's still a lot for these riders to have been thinking about. It's still catching them.
Yes, you can really see that the mistakes are coming overall, and that's always a good sign from course building when he has the ability for the riders and the horses to make the mistakes in different places. Yes, we do have 12 clears, and it's a strong field coming into the jump off, but we are still getting the mistakes, and I think it just bodes that we have a really good mix of horse and riders here.
Well, London has been part of this man's journey for the past 31 years. He doesn't ever miss. He's great to see him back.
Over 30 years, Geert Gulliksen has been riding at the London International Horse Show. One of his favourite venues to go to London before Christmas. It's Jimmy Gulliksen for Norway with Olala van Overis. Olala van Overis, 9-year-old mare. super huge jump over the last 12 faults. But just a young combination, well, I say a young combination, a young horse, a 9-year-old, and on their way up through the ranks. So 12 faults for Jimmy Gullickson and Olala van Overis.
Joseph Trunkfeld here in Great Britain, and Jimmy and the mare just getting to know each other. You could just see after the combination she started to get a little bit feisty, and
Jimmy, who
yeah, a few more rounds and they'll know
jumped
better.
at the first leg of the World Cup qualifiers a few weeks ago, double clear in Oslo with his VDL Group's Quattro.
In Germany, he's a former team gold medalist from those Olympics in Rio, and of course a European champion from 2009 at Windsor. Here now with Visconti de Tilmar for France.
Now for France, former world #1, former Olympic team gold medalist and European gold medalist. It's Kevin Stout with Visconti du Telman. Visconti du Telman, on which Kevin finished in 12th place at Omaha in Nebraska at the World Cup final back in April. Already jumped him at 3 of the World Cup qualifiers. On his way to his 12th World Cup final, standing in 6th place at the Western European League at the moment on 40 points. Looking for clear number 13. Kevin, one of 6 remaining in this start list for the Ivy Stakes. Perfectly timed round. Perfect over the last half a second inside the time. That was real style from Kevin Stout, and that is clear number 13.
Lucky for some, he's into the jump off. That was class.
That was pure class, and I think if we were going to take a round today for educational purposes for young
That
people,
really was
he
absolutely
picked the
perfect, that
takeoff
round in
spot.
every
He rode
respect.
the perfect line, the perfect rhythm, just inside the time allowed. Nothing more to say.
Not at all. Well, this man certainly made a statement in the opening class here this afternoon when he made it a back-to-back win, because you have to look back to what he did when he was here at the end of last year's London International Horse Show, and he of course left here on the Monday night as the Grand Prix winner, taking the opening class here this year, now with Daniel, Great Britain, and Matt Sampson.
We go back to Great Britain, and it is the winner from the first of the international classes here held earlier today. It's Matthew Sampson here riding the 15-year-old stallion Daniel. Daniel by Heartbreaker. Matthew, who was 11th in this class last year with Eberlenski, went on to do really well in the World Cup. He had a great show here last year. Naturally very quick combination. And these two are going to be a big threat in the jump off. If he can get over the Oxford at the last, he does very successfully. 71.81, but more importantly, it was clear. So Matthew Sampson, winner earlier today, get into the jump off of the second class with Daniel, clear number 14.
Daniel, that combination really gelling.
Yeah, they've really hit it off together. Of course, taking over the ride when Angeli having her child, James Davenport giving Matt the ride on this lovely Daniel, and they really have found their way together.
4 to go,
Fantastic
14
run.
clears so far.
Wow, well done. He's got the
Clears
chance
Lily
to keep
Atwood,
the
Ben
pace
Mayer,
up with
Olivia
Jones.
Philipparts,
Chance to
Marla
hat-trick.
Maduro,
Activity.
Zanatelli for
Well, there are
Brazil,
three
Pedro
more to
Junqueira
go
Mallet
in
for
the
Brazil
opening round
also,
of
Peter
Champagne
Fredriksson
Taittinger
for
Ivy
Sweden,
Stakes.
Harry Charles,
And now
Jody
returning
Hall,
from Germany on her third trip to
McAteer,
London. Big
Steve
win recently
Gerdat,
in Stuttgart
Connor
and
Swale,
Barcelona.
John
Here
Whitaker,
and,
Kevin
riding
Stout,
Do It Easy
Matthew
for
Sampson,
Germany,
and
Kendra
4 to go.
Kalista-Brinkhoff.
Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff for Germany with the 10-year-old gelding Do It Easy. Six weeks ago, third in a similar class to this, and then performed very well in Stuttgart, 155. Stuttgart, where she jumped a double clear in the World Cup qualifier with In Time, finishing in 6th. Another lovely, lovely round we're witnessing here as she comes down to the Oxer. Huge jump over the Oxer, 3/4 of a second inside the time. Clear number 15. That's a clear for Germany. Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff and Do It Easy into the second round of the Ivy Stakes.
Made it look so easy. The jump off builds and builds. I mean, what were these riders going to be thinking now at the back? That the numbers grow, the excitement for us just getting even better.
Yeah, I think in the end, the number doesn't really matter for the crowds. The more, the merrier. And I think when you see a round like this from this pair, you can see they were separated for a while. They're back together again. What a wonderful partnership. And Do It Easy really did get the right name.
Certainly did. 2 to go. And to a man that had a fabulous win here last year in London. Riding with Violino the second, Plazetto for Italy, Lorenzo De Luca.
Well, if you've got an earlier start list, you may have been expecting Tim Gredley for Great Britain. It appears, we've just heard that he's not jumping, but now it is the turn for Italy of Lorenzo De Luca, world number 57, for Italy with Violino il Palazzetto. The loudness was 4 faults. So 1 fence down, 4 faults for Lorenzo De Luca and Violino il Palazzetto. Lorenzo,
Yes,
who's
fantastic. The Italians
had a tremendous
sponsored
run
their riders by
in the
having them in the uniforms of the various
Longines FEI jumping
yes,
qualifiers,
airforce
World Cup
Army,
qualifiers,
and,
currently standing on
Lorenzo's landing
22
again, down a bit too quick
points
there.
on his way, perhaps to his third World Cup final.
Last to go, and it is into the world's top 10. And a rider that was
5
part of the
competitors
team
in
that
this
took the bronze
competition in the
at
world
those European Championships
top 10 in the Longines
this year.
rankings.
Impressive
Now the
fact,
world number
second in
9
the World Cup in
for
Madrid,
Austria.
Corinna as
It's
well.
Max Kuna with EIC Cooley
for Austria.
jump the
The
queue.
last in the opening round, Max Kuna.
Well, Cooley jumped the queue along with EIC, Julius Caesar and Coriolis de Eels. Their campaign in the World Cup weekends has gone extremely well. 7th at the moment in the league. Cooley, who won the 1m66 bar in Madrid. Jumped a double clear to finish 2nd last weekend behind Harry Charles at the La Coruña leg of the World Cup qualifiers. He was last to go in that jump off. There were 14 in the jump off, and the first 10 all had fences down. Rather extraordinary. And this is looking like clear number 16. It is indeed. That is clear from Max Kuna for Austria with EIC Cooley jump the queue. Clear number 16.
Jump the queue has found himself at the end of the queue.
And that completes the first of the 2 rounds
Yes, and Max and this
of the
lovely,
Taittinger
Cooley
Champagne
jump queue, which you find in Ireland, of
Ivy
course,
Stakes
son of
at
the
the
great Pacino.
London International
And,
Horse Show.
this partnership
They
really
now
have
prepare
come
the
together now. You really
course
see that
for
this
the jump
10-year-old
off.
horse is now getting
Lily
so much
Atwood with
experience,
Corleone
and
VD
coming in
Gilbert will be
last
the
tonight,
first
I think we should reckon
of
with
the
him.
16 for Great Britain,
Absolutely.
followed by
Well,
Ben
they're
Mayer,
on
world
board
number
in
2
the,
on
lineup for the
Ginger
jump off.
Blue.
We've got an
Then Olivia
amazing
Philipparts
field
on
that
Papa
are gonna
Micah
be coming
J. W.
back
van der
against the
Moorhover.
top
Then
tier of the
Marla
Champagne
Modolo
Taittinger
Zanatelli, first
Ivy
to 2 for
Stakes.
Brazil
It's a total
on
of
Cornest.
37,000
Harry Charles
euros.
with
The
last
jump
year's
off
winner
comes next.
Billabong de Roumois will be next into the jump off. They'll be followed by the former European champion Peder Fredriksson with SV Vroom de la Pomme. Then Pedro Juncker Malet with Quack 76, followed by Jody Hall McAteer with Hardessa. Steve Gerdat with Isminka, then Connor Swale with Cassia EPZ. John Whitaker then with Equine America's Unique de Frankport. Gregory Watherley with Quaker. Kevin Stout, Visconti du Telman. Matthew Sampson, already a winner today with Daniel, and Kendra Clarissa Brinkop for Germany. And then finally, Max Kuna will be the last in, where he was last weekend in La Coruña in the World Cup jump-off, will be the 16th into the jump-off with EIC Cooley jump the queue. We'll be back in a few moments' time as they just prepare the arena for the jump-off of the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes in London.
From Ben Mayer.
And lovely to see you. This seems to be riding nicely, this course, which is I'm not sure if that's good or bad when you've gone out and done such a good clear.
Yeah, the course seems fair. Just the first day, obviously, but it's difficult for the course builders when it's only put at meter 50 height. It's a big level competition this week, and a lot of the horses jumping the World Cup on Sunday will probably jump this class today. So there'll be a lot of clears, but I'm sure the jump will be fun.
Is this the one that we'll see on the World Cup on Sunday of yours?
I'm actually planning to do a switch. No, I'll jump in Dew, another horse that I jumped in Madrid a couple of weeks ago, and then Ginger Blue will jump the Grand Prix on Monday evening. Plans can change, but that was my plan before we came this week.
Well done so far.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Well, he used the description, this should be fun. I sort of think it'll be more than fun, Jess.
Yes, of course, the jump off is always fun. For the riders and the horses, this is, you know, you're qualified to come in the first round, and you look at the starter field and you reckon, yeah, I could have a chance in there today. And when I look at the jump off course, there's a little bit of both. Got to be able to turn and gallop. I think this really could be quite a hot jump off.
I certainly think it will be. A lot of excitement coming our way, but let's have a little look. Take us round where we're going. What are the options? What is in store?
Well, we start left-handed going past the in-gate and taking Agria jump, the vertical, which was number 3 in the first round. And in the first round, it was a bending line, 7 strides up to number 4. 6 strides? Not so sure. Turn back to the horses' heads, which is now a vertical, and then left-handed, which is difficult turn into the combination, into 7AB, and as you can see, they turn probably inside the Agria, have to turn onto the outside track and still get straight. I find that's a critical turn in the competition. Then come back to the postage stamp number 9. They want to get a good sharp turn there. They can rock down on the 9 strides. It's been turned into what is skinny oxer now, the snowmen number 10. So that means they can really turn in the air. And of course, the old favorite, the gallop for the last, number 15.
Looking forward to a gallop from start to finish. 16 combinations, job clear in the opening round. But news to give you, Lily Atwood and Kevin Stout have both withdrawn before the jump off. So 14 go racing.
Yeah, and I think both Lily and Kevin withdrawing is a sign that that is their World Cup horse and they're saving for Sunday.
Which means this man's going to go first to get the jump off underway, get behind them all in the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes with Ginger Blue, Great Britain.
Welcome back to the second of the 2 rounds of the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. Lily Atwood has chosen to save Qualification VD Philippe Z for the World Cup on Sunday by the looks of things, because Ben Maher, the world number 2, is the first into the arena, the first in the jump off. Jump off course started with fences 3 and 4 as they jumped in the first round. Then they will jump what was fence 9 backwards, which became, and then go to the double 7A and B. To a new fence, the fence 15, and that's a super clear for the crowd.
We are off to the races here this afternoon. That was a cracker.
35.54 seconds. Ben Maher has thrown down the gauntlet. So Ben Maher, Ginger Blue.
Down to the second last, to the snowman, and they were very good turns everywhere. Only place maybe to do something on the way to the last, perhaps?
We will see. Give you an idea. We took a split as he got back to the letterbox, the red letterbox there, in around 22 seconds. It'll give us a clue. Now to Belgium with this 8-year-old, the youngest horse.
Oh, what a lovely performance this Super 8-year-old put on in the first round. This 8-year-old mare by Viga del Sui. Popper Mike, J. Wood, Van der Merhoever, Olivier Philipparts. The horse, obviously, in the making. Got plenty of years to really push the buttons in a jump off like this. That's, I was going to say, a super turn from the 8-year-old. Well, what a lovely, lovely horse.
And we've got to remember just how young that horse is, Jeff.
Yes, 8-year-old horse.
And we'll be seeing an awful lot of more of Olivia Philipparts and Micah J. van der Muhova.
Use of the stride, did the 6 strides to 1 to 2, made it look easy, had the 8 strides down the middle, got caught out of the postage stamp, very tight turn, and this is something that a young horse has to go into these classes and get the experience to learn how to do these things. But definitely a lovely combination for the future.
And I like the name Poppy. It was a lot easier to say than Popamika J.W. van der Muhova.
Yes, I think that'll just be our little pet name for Poppy.
It will. Right, Ben Mayer still leads. 35.54 is the time to beat, but the challengers now back up into the world's top 30.
Now the first of 2 for Brazil.
With Cornes, would you welcome
Marlon Modolo Zanatelli with the 10-year-old gelding Cornest. .54 time set by Ben Mayer for Great Britain. Six strides down to fence 4, was fence 4. Super turn into the double. Still clear. .54. He's not going to quite make the tie, but it's a very, very good round. 37 into second place. 37.
So smooth, but it is into second. Well done, Marlon Zanatelli. 37.44.
37.44 for Marlon Modolo Zanatelli into second place. That looked very quick indeed. Just shows you that Ben Mayer's time was deceptively quick.
What sort of time can this young man pull out of the bag with a ride that in recent weeks has proved to be one of the quickest on the international circuit, with wins in Stuttgart and in Corinna? Will it follow through here in London? Next up,
well, one of the quickest combinations in the world today. They've won this competition last year. Harry Charles won it also back in 2021 with Barsotos. Harry Charles with the very quick Billabong du Noir. Hold on to your hats. Teammate 35.54 Ben Mayer. That's what he's got to beat. That was a rub, but it's still there. Takes a slightly wider turn to get square for the double. Oh! Well, that was the opposite to the wider turn we saw earlier. He tried. You've got to take risks. And Billabong said, Dad, that's a little bit close. And they coast home. Ping the last. So not today for Harry Charles, but there's the rest of the weekend to go. So Harry Charles, Billabong du Noir. Complete of 14 penalties, but that was plain to see.
He was really fast up to that point, and he turned back for the postage stamp. And of course, you know, this does sometimes happen. Billabong just for a moment didn't know where he was going, but I thought he was a real gentleman to say straight and let Harry stay in the saddle.
That's very good of him. Hopefully, I'm sure, no doubt, Harry will be back to fight again. Pepe still leads. Next to go, a star from Sweden, multiple medals, and this exciting member of his stable with SV Broom de la
Now we go to the former European champion, an Olympic gold medalist and individual silver, Peder Fredriksson for Sweden with SV Vroom de la Pomme. Sangazaida bred, 35.54 the time to beat. That's Ben Maher's time. It's not going to make the quickest time. It's 37.3 into second place. I believe that goes for Peder Fredriksson for Sweden. And SV Vroom de la Pomme into second place with a time of 37.3. So just knocked Marla Modella Zanatelli into third place by 14/10 of a second.
But look at the standings. Ben Maher still leading the way here in the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. What about another chance from Brazil?
So Marla Modella Zanatelli in third place for Brazil with Conés. Now the second of the two riders for Brazil in the jump-off is Pedro Enquera with Quacks 76, 35.54. That was set by Ben Maher. He was first to go. That was 5 competitors ago. Big rangy horse. It's got lots of scope jumping, but wouldn't be so nimble round the corners. Great angle. Chases down to the Oxer. Flies it. Hurdles the Oxer. Stops the clock in 38.31, which puts them into fourth place, just behind fellow countryman Marla Modella Zanatelli. Into fourth goes Pedro Enquera and Quacks 76 in a time of 38.31.
Still Great Britain on top. What about this young lady? She won the leading show jumper of the year with this ride. She had that storming show here 12 months ago. Will it start in the same way this time?
Leading rider of the show 12 months ago for Great Britain, 23-year-old Jodie Hall McAteer, riding the 11-year-old Hardessa. 35.54, Ben Maher. That was a brilliant turn to the double. Oh! This is very, very quick. 35.54. She gallops down to the Oxer at the last. Is this she going to go into the lead? She's up and over. She stops the clock in 37.26. What a tremendous round from Jodie Hall McAteer. 37.26 puts them into second place. Great Britain in first and second at the moment. Jodie Hall McAteer, Ardessa, 37.26. Ben Maher for Great Britain with Ginger Blue, 35.54. Current leader. So Ben Maher's time, 1 3/4 seconds quicker than Jodie Hall McAteer's, and Jodie did not hang around.
The world number 4, the European champion, the gold medal winner from London 2012 with IS Minka.
Steve Goddard, back in London where he won the Olympic gold medal, here with IS Minka. Now, he needs to get his skates on. This turn, brilliantly done. .35.54. He's galloping down to the Oxer at the last. He's not going to make the time. He stopped it in 37.76. That puts him, I think, into fifth place. 37.76 for Steve Gerdat. Well, Ben Maher, the only person to break the 36-second mark, to get into 36 seconds, and his was 35.54. The only person to get below 37 seconds. Ben Maher, his current time, 35.54. Now for Ireland, Conor Swale with Calciet EBZ. Good position to approach that first fence. Gone quite wide to the red upright, the letterbox. But now he's going to make up time. This is going to be very close. 30, still over 37 seconds. 37.3. Ben Maher's round again. 37.31. Conor Swale into fourth place. Conor Swale with Calciet EBZ.
He has a slow jump, so for a competition like this, he loses time in the air, making a really big, slow jump. Lovely ride.
Well, that goes into fourth. Peter Fredrickson, Jody Hall McAteer third and second, but Ben Maher still leads. They keep trying, but what...
Well, Ben Maher, who was first in, he stopped the clock on 35.54 with Ginger Blue, and no one's really got anywhere close to that time. But we still have 6 more to jump. Now, for Belgium, Gregory Wathelet with Quaker. Well, just a bit sloppy over the first. So he'll coast around with Quaker. And the 9-year-old jumped to the last. Picked up a few bolts on the way around, so not a threat to the current leader, Ben Maher, who's still in the lead on 35.54.
Professional, he understands Quaker, absolutely new horse to him. This is a new situation for Quaker. I mean, why not have a go? You're here in London, so why not have a go? But then he could see it didn't work out, so just calmed everything down, got everything together, and they'll go again tomorrow.
Great Britain 1 and 2. What about adding this man into the mix? Equestrian America, Unique de Frankfurt, John Whittaker.
John Whittaker for Great Britain. Can he take the roof off the XL Stadium with Unique de Frankfurt? Go on, John. He's a big horse to get round these corners. It'll be difficult to get that time. The height isn't an issue. And tomorrow will be their big class. Sorry, on Sunday will be their big class. But he's still clear. Oh, wow! Look at the speed he took the last. 38.57. 38.57. John Whitaker, unique to Frank Court, goes into 8th place. And they do look a big threat for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup on Sunday.
John, thank you for being who you are.
Oh, well, does the story, look at that on the replay, continue though with this young man? 3 to go. And now it's the turn of the winner from earlier, looking to make it a hat-trick after the Grand Prix last year on Daniel, Matt Sampson.
Well, he's been a winner already today in the XL Stadium at the London International Horse Show. It's Matthew Sampson. He was riding Daniel. It's Matthew Sampson with the 15-year-old stallion, Daniel. Still, Ben Mayer, 35.54 his time, and still nobody broken 37 seconds other than Ben Mayer. That was very quick. And he did love this arena a year ago. That was an incredible turn. Oh, that was unfortunate, but you've got to take risks. Just takes his foot off the gas now. The 4. Matthew Sampson, who was always going to be a risk in this jump off.
Well, it's not to be in terms of another
He has the one fence down, but that time wasn't a true result of what his time would have been had he not had that fence down. But he goes in the 9th place on 39.55 with 4 poles. 3 to go. 2 to go, I should say. 2 to go.
What a great try the two of them had.
in a jump off of 14, we're down to the final 2, and still the man that went.
So let's just quickly reflect on these times. Ben Mayer, Ginger Blue, 35.54. In second place, Jodie Hall McAteer, 37.26 with Hardessa. Now for Germany, Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff. Do it easy. That was quick. Up and over the 36.68. She has not gone into the lead, but she is the only rider to break the 37 seconds. 36.68. And Ben Mayer still a second quicker of 35, or 1.1 second quicker. 35.54 is victorious, but that was a tremendous round from Kendra Brinkhoff into second place with that 36.68.
Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. What a class this has given us. To the world number 9 with EIC Cooley Jump the Queue. Welcome back, Max Kühner.
For Austria, Max Kühner with EIC Cooley Jump the Queue. And the one thing we know with these competitions, it's never over until the last athlete has competed. 35.5 4. This is a very experienced, very nimble combination. Look at that. Look how nimble. Oh! Took that at 45-degree angle. Now, he's up on the clock. Max Kühne for Austria gallops down to the last. Is he going to beat 35.54? It's going to be very close indeed. It's 35.83. 0.3 tenths of a second. 3 tenths of a second outside Ben Maher's time. But into second place goes Max Kühne for Austria. And Ben Maher victorious. What a tremendous performance.
And Cooley jumped the queue, amazing into the double.
Well, let's hear from the man that has just won this class, Ben Maher.
I think they're just going to interview Ben Maher. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to hear it, but let's just hold on to make, just in case you can.
So many clears, but my goodness, you put the pressure on everyone with that time early on.
Yeah, thank you. Ginger Blue, or Cookie we call her, she's had a long rest before this show. She was in great form in October. She loved this ring 2 years ago when we were here, and she started in great form this week.
Yeah, and it bodes well because this is the horse you're going to take into Monday night, that's right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's experienced. She's been with me a long time now. She was second in the Grand Prix here a couple of years ago, so it was a long wait, as you said, 14 after me today, but she's naturally a very fast horse, and everything worked out for me today.
Just before you jump back on to win a class here at London, particularly on day one, it must be a great feeling.
It's great. Love this time of year. Everybody does. It's exciting to see everybody here again, and this time of year everybody's happy, and it makes this show even more special.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fabulous from him, of course, a fabulous finale still to come here. A very
Ben Maher takes the Taittinger Champagne Ivy Stakes
Ben Maher and Ginger Blue.
with Ginger Blue. Max Kühne going to second, 35.83, 0.3 of a second behind Ben Maher on EIC Cooley Jump the Queue. Kendrick Clarissa Brinkop with Do It Easy for Germany in third place. Fourth, Jodie Hall McAteer with Hardessa for Great Britain. Peder Fredriksson, SV Vroom de la Pomzed in fifth place. Connor Swale, and these all jumped double clear with Calciet in sixth. Marla Modolo Zanatelli in seventh. Steve Gerdat in eighth with Ispinka. Pedro Junco Bailard in ninth place. 10th, John Whitaker with Equine America Unique de Frankfurt. Then the four falters, Matthew Sampson, very quick time he would have been, but he had one down with Daniel in 11th place. 12th place, Olivia Philipparts with Papa Micah J.W. van der Moohover. Harry Charles with Billabong Duumois. The winners from last year wasn't their turn tonight or this afternoon. Gregory Watherley in 14th place with Quaker for Belgium. What a tremendous performance Ben Maher put on. It was first to go, not the place that riders like to go in the jump off. And his time of 35.54 was never beaten. Well, in a few moments' time, bear with us. Enjoy the elves as they run around the Christmas atmosphere here at the London International Horse Show. We'll be bringing you the presentation for the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes 2023 in a few moments' time.
Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes.
We now come on to the presentation as Father Christmas has very kindly led everybody in to the presentation for the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. Connor Swale coming in with Qualification EPZ. Jodie Hall McAteer, what a great crack she gave, chasing after fellow countryman Ben Mayer's time on Odessa. Kendra Clarissa Brinkop, he broke 37 seconds, only one of 3 riders to do that in the jump off. We do it easy. Max Kuna, only one of 2 competitors with EIC Cooley jump the queue to break the 36-second mark, and he was last to go, but the first man to go was Ben Mayer on Ginger Blue, and his time of 35.54 could not be beaten.
Dismount for the trip to the podium for the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes. And joining us in 3rd place, it is with Do It Easy, Kendra Clarissa Brinkop.
Ben Mayer shaking hands with Max Kuna. Kendra Clarissa Brinkop takes her position on the podium. And Ben Mayer stands on the number 1 spot on the podium. What a super start to a tremendous weekend of jumping.
What a start to London it has been for the British. Well done to Ben.
So the final result of the 2023 Champagne Taittinger Stakes. Ben Mayer with Ginger Blue for Great Britain. In 2nd place, Max Kuna, EIC Cooley jumped the queue for Austria. And in 3rd place for Germany, Kendra Clarissa Brinkop with Do It Easy. A tremendous competition, a great competition for Great Britain, won last year by Harry Charles with Billabong de Montbois. And of course, this weekend is all about the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup on Sunday. We'll be back with you then. But many congratulations to Ben Mayer and Jane Forbes-Clark's Ginger Blue for winning the Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes on the Friday of the London International Horse Show 2023. Bye-bye.
World-class sport and a world-class winner. Let's send them off on their lap of honour. Take it away. The Champagne Taittinger Ivy Stakes is Ginger Blue and Ben Mayer. everyone.